I know what heavy wet shoes feel like. So
Okay.
I must have been pushed, or actually, I think I rode a bike off of a dock once.
On purpose.
Yeah, there was a
Okay.
little ramp.
Okay.
I think
What
that
happened
was
to the
it.
bike?
It got wet, but it came back.
All right, Matthew.
I think it was tied. Actually, I don't know.
Matthew, what were your first impressions of this Greg's Diner?
Man,
food truck
we have
burger?
strayed so far off. I don't even remember Greg's Diner's burger.
It was like the truck itself was pretty neat. Like it had this classic 50s diner look, but for a food truck somehow. I don't understand if it like folds up and stuff when it drives away, but it had this big sign sticking up and out.
Yeah, it looked like it was out there for the weekend.
I guess.
There's only
but,
one
like,
day that it's out there. All
Yeah, I
that
think it's
prep
just
for
the one day that they do the thing at the Olympic Stadium. But like when it's out on a sidewalk near a park or whatever, I guess they just pop that sign up or something.
Yeah, they probably got a system in place. Looked good. I thought we were going to a place that they didn't even have here in Quebec. I thought we were going to a place in Chicago.
Yeah, I think I Googled it at one point, and I instead of Greg's Diner, I looked up Glenn's Diner,
Yeah,
something
that's the
like
place
that.
to be.
And Glenn's in Chicago seemed like a pretty nice place.
Thought we were going to finally get the
The
burger. International burger, but nope. Just a regular Quebec burger.
American style though, it was still American
Sure.
diner style.
Yeah. It's pulled pork, double patty, which was pleasant. But you know what? Like, I guess it was like a diner burger, but a real squished up little burger. Well, it didn't feel like much. Didn't feel hefty.
Yeah, they weren't thick patties. They were, relatively thin patties,
Uh-huh.
mashed down, probably done on a flat iron grill. Pulled pork on it, like you said, less tomato. Pickles, I think, were on there too. Maybe
Yeah,
not,
I
eh?
think.
Yeah,
I think so.
less tomato pickles. There was some sort of like a Big Mac style sauce, like a Russian dressing type of thing.
Yeah, and I like those tomatoes. Different than any tomatoes. They're cute little buggers, cute little tomatoes, just little like cherry tomatoes or something. Still, I hated them still, but they were easier to take off.
So, wouldn't like one big tomato be the easiest thing to take off?
Yeah, but see the big tomatoes, there's a lot of center to them, and the center is the sloppy part. So you remove that, you get little seeds, little bits of slop in your burger. These little cherry tomatoes, they're tight.
You seem to be like charmed by cherry tomatoes. If you get a salad that has cherry tomatoes in it, are you okay with those?
I have this weird relationship with cherry tomatoes where it's like
interesting.
I just find them so adorable and so tiny and compact and so perfect. But I know I'm supposed to hate them.
Well, that's not true. You know that you
I've been conditioned
don't like
to hate them.
tomatoes.
Yes, but I think it's just like you could hate dogs, but you can love a puppy.
Okay, I
But
see
you
what you're
still,
saying.
You still don't want the puppy.
Sure.
You're okay to look at it in a pet store behind a window and say, "I hope someone loves you, but it's not going to be me."
But it's not like the cherry tomato is a responsibility that you're taking on that will turn into a full tomato. I feel like your analogy falls apart, Matthew.
It might be. It might be like one of those little bonsai kittens. It's like it's a little kitten inside that's grown inside of a jar, so it always stays the shape of the jar and just
yes,
about
I've
as
seen
small
these.
as a jar.
Yeah, but there are also cats trapped in jars.
But they've never known anything else.
I suppose it's
It's like, aren't
still
we all
inhumane.
trapped? I mean, we're trapped on planet Earth. Who knows what bounds, what limits we have? Maybe
Well,
to aliens, we're
man
just
has been to the
bonsai
moon.
men.
I see what you're saying, Matthew, but I cannot agree. A cat trapped in a jar or a bottle is far different than a man trapped on Earth.
Yeah, I guess it's very grounding, though. I'm just enamored with these little guys, little tomatoes.
I mean, okay, but you feel like if you were to eat it,
I wouldn't hate myself.
have you ever eaten a cherry tomato?
I've eaten cherry tomatoes before.
And
Don't like them.
how did you feel?
Like the Welsh forklift driver. No regrets, Sebastian.
Okay, all right, Matthew. I mean, I feel like that's unlike you, Matthew. I
It's
feel
very
like
unlikely. I'm living a stranger's life sometimes.
Now, just going back for a second, you reminded me of this Welshman. If he were to die by that one turbine,
I'm going back to that. Yeah.
would he be sucked underwater, or would he just been torn up by a turbine? And regardless, which sounds like a worse death to you?
Just the peaceful ease of drowning? Or being ripped apart by an underwater blade?
I feel the complete opposite way from you, Matthew. I feel like drowning would probably be terrible. And being ripped up by that turbine would probably, it'd be maybe a second or two long death tops. It would happen so quick. It'd be very violent, and there would basically be no remains. But
yeah. But
I guess regardless, it's just how you die. You're still going through the turbine.
You're going through the turbine whether you like it or not, but you might die before.
Yeah. The death before, I feel like drowning, like you're all out of air. Already you going like struggling and being underwater and knowing that you're being sucked further down. That's like at least 30 seconds of nightmare struggle. Then you run out of air. 30 seconds to a minute. I imagine if I hold my breath here, I could do it for a minute. But if I'm being sucked into the water, I'm a little more panicky.
Oh, you're exerting yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But, then you lose all your air. And then there's still probably a few seconds of like, oh no, this is the end. Darkness.
I picture it more like the scene from Old School, where I think Will Ferrell goes into the water and you hear the sound
Hello,
of silence.
darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, very peaceful. And I always thought that
I saw Hello, Darkness, but I didn't think it was good.
Oh. Yes, yeah, I thought it was very peaceful the way you ended with it. I always thought that as soon as you start to breathe in water, as soon as water hits your lungs, it just shuts off your brain. Like the oxygen isn't getting to your brain. Your brain's like, whoa, water's coming in. We're shutting off. And then you just pass out before you actually drown.
Water has hit my brain before, but that results in choking. But if I would to choke twice and be still full of water, I don't know, maybe my brain would shut off. I imagine it would still take a bit, right? Like then at that point, it's like being in a sleeper hold where no new blood is going to go into your bloodstream. So you still got a few seconds.
Maybe, but I worry. I don't know how long. Okay, let's say it doesn't take you forever to drown. I'm just in the water and I see myself being pulled towards this enormous underwater turbine, and I have time to think about friends and family and how they're going to view my body if they ever even find me.
You really think so? You're getting sucked to the turbine, you get sucked under, you probably see the turbine, you're probably lasting 10 seconds tops. In that 10 seconds, you're like, friends, family, no.
Well, what if it's slow? You're being drawn towards it real slow, but it's like, I don't have the energy. I've been swimming for half an hour.
That's true.
I don't know. I think a lot about not necessarily how I'll die, but how I don't want people around me to have to go through my death.
Sure, of course not.
Have you prepared any last will and testaments or any video wills?
No, nothing of the sort. I think I asked my parents one time. I said, if I ever go into a coma, please don't shave me. I want to see what my beard's like when I get out. Aside from that, I have no backup plans.
Please don't shave me.
I just want to see how the beard is.
Yeah, when I wake up, I want to know how long I've been out for.
Exactly, by beard length.
Yes.
I want to know if I've been in a coma for 7 years. I want that Rip Van Winkle.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? And then, like, you go and see your friends. You're like, oh, my God, it's been 7 years, and you've got a really long beard.
Yeah, definitely you want to...
long hair. It'd be so good.
You want to play it up like Rip Van Winkle when you wake up. You don't want to be presentable and clean-shaven. You want to be like, I've been asleep for 10 years. What have I missed? And then go and experience the world.
Exactly.
For, like, a few months, but with your long beard.
Yeah. And always, like, looking up at the sky and scratching your head.
I wonder if things would change that much.
Then you'd meet up with your friends, and every now and then you'd sign your checks, and it would say 2017. You'd be like, no, again, it's 2027.
Simple mistake.
And like, it'd be hard to catch up on 10 years. You go see your friends, and you're like, okay, what's up in the past 10 years? I don't need to hear everything. Let's go quick. What good movies come out in the past 10 years? What's iPhones at like now?
What's iPhones at like now? it's like the people from 10 years now is like, whoa, English 10 years ago was laughable.
Well, I assume that English would continue to degrade, and
Yes.
I was trying to like adjust to the times. Like, yes, I'm a hip youngin' now.
Yeah. I wonder. Do you think? Because the only thing I can relate it to is once I went camping, and back to camping again. Sorry, and I was gone for 1 week, and that 1 week felt like it spanned years, because when I came back, the world had changed. Smash Mouth had a new song out, a new hit song. It was already from I never heard of this song to it being number one, and it was All Star.
Oh,
And this new movie called
this is like 20 years ago.
and the Blair Witch Project came out. That was a movie. There was no talk of the Blair Witch Project. A week later, that's all anyone was talking about. So I felt like if it's that multiplied by 52 times another 10,
520.
that was pretty simple math.
Yeah.
I regret that.
So we've learned today that Matthew's strengths are math and my strengths are English.
Yes. I've gone on record before saying I was real good at math.
Yeah.
It's a lie. A dirty lie. Yeah, I wonder. I'm not prepared at all for my death.
What do you mean?
I
mean, you've boxed up a lot of your belongings.
Yes. To be buried alongside me. Only the most prized possessions. No, I wanted to write a will. Not really a will, but more of like, well, this is going to sound like suicide letters, because I think if anyone ever found them, they would definitely be confused with suicide letters.
Please elaborate, Matthew.
Notes that I would write to people to be given after my passing.
How many people have you told about this?
I don't.
You need to tell at least 2.
Okay, well, I'm telling you now.
What if? Okay, so there's me.
And,
anyone listening?
Yes, Hoffer, you know now. So, yeah, it would basically just be notes, letters. They'd have to be real nice letters. Like, I'd probably type them up on the computer first, but then handwrite them.
Oh, you want to get all the errors out by typing it up first.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. And they're not going to be just generic, replace Sebastian's name with
whomever.
I guess I don't know
Your
that
mother.
many people. Damon.
No, I would love. Yeah, I really wish you would say your mother, so that like it's the same. It's the exact same letter for everyone.
No, but I don't know where I'd cut the line off. I think you'd make the cut.
Okay.
My family.
Sure.
I am estimating around 50 letters.
Okay.
And they are going to say,
what are the contents of these letters?
It's basically, I want people to read them after I die and not feel sad that I'm dead. Presuming that like I don't end up being a horrible person before my death, and that people would even want to feel sad about it.
Well, then isn't that worse if you're like, because now, okay, so Matthew died, and what a nice guy. He wrote these nice letters just in case he was to die.
Yeah.
Now I feel worse about his death.
No.
Didn't appreciate him as much as I should have in life. I think you should not write these letters.
No, I think I definitely have to write these letters. I just have to get into the right frame of mind, and it's a pretty dark frame of mind you got to get into. I don't really know how I'm going to go about it, but once they start, they're going to flow, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna seal them with little wax sealers, I guess, but I'm going to have to update them, I think.
What do you
mean? Keep them current. Because if I write like this note to you right now, and I die 15 years from now,
it's going to be an outdated note.
A little outdated. So I'm thinking every 5 years I just update these letters. But it's basically going to say, hey, remember these times we had together? Don't feel bad for me. Don't celebrate my life. Something like that. Something where it's like I'm speaking to them from beyond the grave. But not in like a Vincent Price way, like in a Paul Walker kind of way.
What does that mean? Because they animated him into a Fast and the Furious movie?
Yeah, but it was so touching. Like, you watch the end of Fast and the Furious? Oh, so beautiful. Maybe we should do, like, a posthumous?
But posthumous, yeah.
Posthumous.
But you need to be
I always
dead.
say posthumous. Maybe we should record a podcast.
You might
release
argue
it.
That this whole podcast is posthumous.
Let's you and I record a podcast, and it'll be released posthumously. Yeah, Is that not an idea? Well,
I mean, that is an idea.
We both have to be dead.